Good morning, folks. How are we all today? I hope we're well. Welcome aboard. We second got the other Davey in, and we'll fire the headlines at him and see how up to date he is with the news. But as you know, the headlines always fire up anomalies. Okay, so let's get the other Davey in. Well, let's get this underway first, shall we? No, we'll have a look, see who's in. Give a minute or two for get more people in. Hi, Kirsty. Hi, Stephen. Stephen Charlton, that is. Hi, Stephen Nichol. Hi, wee Bud. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Desiree. Alistair. Stephen Bankier. Ginger Giraffes. Graham Eason. Jeanette Gilfillan, Gillian Alberson, Anna Chisholm, Alan Arnott, Christina Mackey, good morning, Christina. Scott Haynes, good morning, Scott. Good morning, Rosie. Morning, Peter M. Morning, Martin the Hibby. I think we've got everybody so far. Where are we? 86? No, I haven't got 86 people, but I couldn't read that many out. Right, anyway, let's get this underway, shall we? Indy truck, Davey out the truck, not at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it is overcast, but clearing up a wee bit. It's 11 degrees at the moment. Today's high will be 14 degrees. Humidity is at 87%. Wind speed is 15 to 33 kilometres per hour, or 9 to 20 miles around all money. And the pollen count is low, very low actually. It says 0 on the scale, but it also tells us that the main allergen is alder. Okay, so that's how the weather is here in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. If you want to know what the weather's like where you are, look out your own bloody window. Right, let's get the other one in. Morning, John Baxter. Morning, Sandy McLean. Good morning, Mr. Milligan.
Good morning. How you doing?
Not bad.
When the pollen count is as low as that, it tends to mean that we are fast approaching autumn, because the trees that are dropping pollen and seeds and all the rest of it are not.
They're heading off to sleep, are they?
Yeah.
Right, anyway, big grumpy this morning, so better get this early.
You need to sleep.
Sleep's the last thing I need. Get the fucking newspapers down for a wee while. It's driving me around the fucking twist.
Yes. But
I've got some decorating today coming up, so I'll maybe take a wee bit of time off and actually decorate the place. Well, I won't have any choice. Sarah will make me do it. Right, first up this morning, let's not piss about the Scotsman. Let's find it. No, other end of the park, then. Yeah, the Scotsman. Here we go. The Scotsman this morning has SNP must tackle income gap, says City of London boss. Do you know what that's all about?
Income tax gap.
Yep.
Says City of London. Business face becoming
businesses face becoming uncompetitive with financial a sector also wary of budget hikes. Have you any idea what this is all about, David?
Yeah, look, I just say City of London boss. Fuck off.
Right, let me explain the story to you. Yesterday there was a financial industry gathering, conference, in Edinburgh, which was arranged by the Lord Mayor of London, because he knows that the banking sector has moved fucking lock, stock and barrel from London to Edinburgh and Glasgow. So he's up here begging the banks to go back, well, trying to tell us that he's bringing inward investment into Scotland. In other words, so the Lord Mayor of London The banks are fleeing London, as we know, since Brexit. So he's up meddling in the affairs of Glasgow and Edinburgh, because the financial sector is his business, apparently UK-wide.
Well, it isn't his, but
Glasgow, Birmingham, London, Birmingham, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Belfast apparently is this. It's all his remit.
See, well, see, that's where he's wrong. You've got to realise that this is Scotland, so please bugger off back to your own place. That's that.
No, as I say, the reason why he's up this road is because financial services are fleeing London like fuck. They have been since Brexit. And they fancy Scotland getting back into the EU, so they're moving here. You and I have discussed this many times. Glasgow's beginning to look unbelievable, the amount of new banks that have been built there.
I haven't got a problem with people that arrive in small boats. However, I have got like a problem with people that arrive in small executive jets.
Small executive jets. Nice one. Right, let's get shot of the Scotsman. And of course, right after the Scotsman, we've got the Herald. So what's the Herald got? The Herald contradicts itself. And it has got Sturgeon's broken promises has betrayed those in need. And report blames lack of leadership for slow progress to transform children's care. Now, as you know, one of Nicola's interests when she was First Minister was improving the lives of those in the state's care.
Yeah.
So she's put through a whole lot of policy and regulations for the care sector to follow. But lack of leadership in the care sector means that changes across the board are very slow. But David, you and I have been around a long time, and governments, when they implement new policy, it normally takes the civil service 3, 4, 5 years before it starts to feed through.
Well, look at minimum pricing.
Yes.
Look how long that has taken. It's one of our draft of measures to deal with alcoholism and all this, right?
Yep.
So one can say that we've got the same situation with caring for children.
Yeah, as I say, policy, it takes 4, 5, sometimes up to 10 years for it to actually filter down onto the ground.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, so, I mean, they say...
That was the Herald, was it? That was the Herald.
The Herald saying Sturgeon's broken promises, but she's not broke any promises.
No, the boat, the big boat, the Glen Sannox must be working properly.
The French must be fine, their own Sturgeon. But, I mean, if you remember correctly, David, my father was involved. In fact, he was the chair of the Super 16 children homes in Glasgow, in the Glasgow area. And when the new policy stuff was coming through, he was applauding it before he pegged it, of course. But he realised, he knew himself it was going to take 4 or 5 years to implement all these different strategies that were being brought in.
Yeah.
You know. But as I say, he was applauding it, so he knew it was going to take time to come through, and it will come through, folks. It will just take time. Yeah. Right, next up, we've got the first of the 2 loony rags that we get here in Scotland. This morning, it's the Fails, the first one. So let's see what the Daily Fails got for us today, shall we? Now, I don't know if you're aware of this story, David, but you should be. Kowtow Kier, new surrender. China given free pass to spy on Britain. And that is a sensation as Director of Public Prosecution confirms spy case was scrapped because Starmer's security advisor refused to call Beijing an enemy.
Yeah, he said Beijing, China's difficult, not an enemy.
That's correct.
So therefore, yeah, you cannot be done for providing. What's the actual treason is providing information to an enemy.
An enemy, no difficult
part.
part.
If you're not an enemy, then you have to drop that case.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. When Jonathan Powell, Starmer's security advisor, went in front of the courts, he was asked directly by the judge, is China our enemy? And he said, no, China's just a difficult partner.
Yeah.
And of course, you're no committing treason if you're helping a difficult partner.
Yeah.
You are committing treason if you're helping an enemy.
Yeah.
So this is the China story, the collapse of the spy case against the two young men in England. One was 30 for London, the other one was 33 for Oxfordshire. And they, as I say, Jonathan Pill had to tell the judge that China was not an enemy. There you go. Which is a bloody relief because there's billions of them and they've got a much better armed force than us. They might be half a world away, but we couldn't slaughter them all in the way you are. There's too fucking many.
It seems that Israel are looking to take on China.
2.5 million Israelis want to take on 1.6 billion fucking Chinese people.
Oh, those Israelis want to actually bring the big brother in.
You mean America?
Yes.
330 million versus a billion. I don't fancy the fucking odds.
Well, America still is the most powerful military in the world.
Aye, so they tell us, my arse.
So, well, all right.
That's the information we have, not the truth.
Yeah.
You know, that information that America's got the biggest military is our security blanket. Is it true? I fucking doubt it.
We do know that the Americans are the ones that coined the big balls statement.
Aye. Right, let's get the next one up. What we got next? We've got the Times next. And the Times is going on. I think it's the same story, but we'll have a look. And its ministers refuse to help China spying prosecutors.
What is it? Right.
So this time, it's not the director of public prosecution, it's the chief of the Crown Prosecution Service. Now, I don't know if they're both the same person or whether they're two different agencies, but apparently, ministers refused.
Yeah, the Department of Public Prosecutions and the Crown Office are one and the same.
Right.
Yeah.
But as I say, this is a story that ministers refused to help China spying prosecutors because ministers couldn't openly call China an enemy. That would be a declaration of fucking war. Mental. But I don't think these two young people were guilty of espionage anyway. You know, just sit and talk to a Chinaman doesn't make you a spy.
True. But who brought the case?
It was the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service.
Oh, the same ones that put the forensic tent up in front of Nicola Sturgeon's house.
Oh, no, if it was the same ones, I know. I think you might find that was the Procurator Fiscal's office.
Was it? I thought it was the Crown Prosecution. I thought it's the Crown Office that did that. So anyway,
the CPS, they operate in Scotland, but they operate via the Fiscal Service, the Procurator Fiscal's office.
Right, okay.
So it would be the Crown Prosecution Service in England and the Procurator Fiscal Service here in Scotland. They're one and the same. You know, just different names.
Did it both piss in the same pot?
Don't know, never asked. Right, next up we've got the Tory graph. Red or blue Tory, take your own choice. And it's got CPS number 10 to blame for collapse of spy trial. And once again, David, it's because they would refuse to call China an enemy. Yeah. I don't think we can beat much more out of this story, can we?
No. And in actual fact, I've got to say, it's a non-story. What are they hiding? They must be hiding something.
Well, we'll get that later on in the papers. Yeah. Right, anyway, next up we've got the Eye. This one's an interesting one, David. And that is millions of UK drivers will get £700 payout for major car finance scandal.
Yes, I've been contacted myself. If you end up with a few hundred shekels, then fine, that's okay.
It's no okay, David, because that's based on a 10 grand car loan over 4 years.
Yeah.
Most cars cost over 20 to 30 grand these days, and the loans are normally over 4 years or 5 years.
Right.
What the banks did.
Put me on that, right? That's a PCP car, right? And ran it for a couple of years, Then I decided I wanted to keep it, so it was going to be around about 14 grand, 4 grand in the bag, right? So I ended up taking a loan of Ford for 10 grand, right? So at the end of the day, it's like, as far as I'm concerned, if I got 700 quid out of
Well,
it,
if you
fine.
took a loan for 10 grand, then 700's right.
Yeah,
But if you took, because that's what it's based on a 10 grand 4-year loan.
yeah,
But
that's
if
fine.
you've got a 30 grand car, a 40 grand car, then
Yeah.
you're being shortchanged. Basically, the courts have shortchanged people on the con that was carried out by car financiers.
It was commissions. That's what it comes to. It's people.
But if
It's,
the commission was £700 and 10 grand, and your
yeah,
average car is 30 grand, then
yeah,
they're being shortchanged by 1,400 quid.
yeah.
Basically, what the courts did was let the financiers off the fucking hook.
Aye, yeah. You should have. But the thing is, though, there is a situation where the companies involved, you just go, right, fine, we'll fold and we'll open up the next day or something else. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, it's like you're playing that kind of game. The courts are playing that kind of game.
Right, now we get to you were asking what they were hiding, all these papers so far.
Aye, yeah,
Well, this is what they were hiding. I'll put it up.
yeah, go on.
The Guardian has. Jenrick accused of fueling toxic nationalism after race remarks.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this story, are you, David?
Robert Jenrick is a wee shite. He really is. Anyway, right. So fair enough.
Well, basically, I don't know if you know this, but he was apparently walking through an area of Birmingham and he claims not to have seen a white face in the whole time that he was there. The little racist shite.
Dreadful. Seriously, dreadful.
That is dreadful.
And the point of the matter is that any normal person would walk through the place and not give a damn. Which so happens they're in a place where there's no white faces, right? Fine, okay.
Why is that? Why do they have places like that down there, David?
What?
Why do they have areas like that in England?
They're called ghettos.
That's exactly it. They ghettoised these people when they moved them into the country of England, whereas we diversify, we put them through our population.
In actual fact, we English people, when they go to Spain, they do the same. Birds of a feather flock together.
But that's not how it happened down that road, David. When the Windrush generation came in, they actually stuck them in one area in each city.
Yeah, that goes for an amount of time, right? But in actual fact, it comes down to birds of a feather flock together.
Well, David, there is a lot of truth in that because we now see that the people who were diversely distributed through Glasgow, especially those of Asian descent, congregate in the south of the centre of Glasgow and Paul area.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're right, they do tend to get back into groups together, but they were started by the fact that they were ghettoised in England.
Yeah. Yeah. People are people. Doesn't matter where they're from.
There's nothing more joyful than walking through Glasgow and seeing the diversity of people in the city.
Yes.
And the things that they've brought to our life, especially cuisine-wise, because our food was pretty fucking bland.
Yeah.
Minced tatties and turnips, no the most exotic of food.
Chicken tikka masala, one of my favourites, invented in Glasgow.
Nah, it's not for me. I prefer Taiwanese food.
It was invented in Glasgow.
I know where it was invented, David.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secret ingredient is. A can of fucking tomato soup.
Yeah.
And a wee bit of yogurt. But anyway, that's the Guardian, and it was telling us about Jenrick's racist remarks. Let's move on. Next up, we've got the Metro. Now, what's the Metro on the day? I'll get rid of the Guardian first. Right, what's the Metro go for us today?
Don't make it long.
Aye. Thanks, Lorraine. You've been very generous this month. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Yes.
No wipes don't make a wrong, Bob. Okie dokie. It's the same story, David. There's no much else to add to it. Generic is looking worse than Farage, actually. He's
well,
actually to the right of Farage.
do you want to know something? I would argue that one. Generic's a wee shite, and he always will be a wee shite. People perceive him as being a wee shite. But Farage is somebody you go out and have a pint with.
What the fuck?
So therefore, it's like I would say Farage is still the worst.
I would certainly not have a pint with Farage.
Oh no, I wouldn't, and I wouldn't. But what I'm saying
Anybody
is,
that thinks he's getting the boring geezer talking about politics down the pub hasn't met the boring geezer talking about politics down the pub.
he should talk about his private school and things like that, you know.
Right. The National, what's the National go for us this morning? Tax 10 richest families and free 30,000 Scots from kids poverty. Report for Foyer's STUC shows wealth levy of just 2%, or likes of Povson could raise nearly £500 million a year. Now they're talking about taxing the richest families in Scotland, the 10 richest families in Scotland. They give an example of one of the families, David, but what's the fucking problem here?
For tax 10 riches here, free.
What isn't the Scottish government back from taxing the 10 richest families?
Go on, tell me.
They don't earn a wage, so we can't income tax it.
Right, fine.
And the taxes that are involved in taxing the very rich, like a tax on dividends, tax on transactions, that's all controlled for Westminster. So this headline that bollocks. The National should know better.
Believe it or not, there is tax on dividends. It's just the way it's done, right?
The tax on dividends is 12% rather than the fucking 20 to 21.
Yeah, but at the same time, there is tax on these things, right? So I don't think they're tax free.
But there's no tax from Holyrood.
Yeah, that's right.
No tax from Westminster. So this is a nonsense story in the fucking National.
Tax from Treasury. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nonsense story for the National.
Yeah.
It's a stupid story.
Yeah.
And it shows you that the Trade Union Congress, even the Scottish one, haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. When did the trade unions get so out of touch with politics and taxation and fucking the reality of life?
There are certain things that the union should be into, straightforward. One is Scottish independence. Seriously, our unions need to get.
Well, actually, I think the STUC did majority come out for independence last time round, did it not?
Yeah, well.
Or did it sit in the fence? I can't mind now.
Sat in the fence, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, next up we've got the Rancid. And it has a football story. Locked it for Russ after Jers axe. Soaked in the morning. You're going to get soaked in the morning. Instead of sacked in the morning. The man's already sacked.
Right.
Now, he's enjoying a wee swim in a Highland Loch with his girlfriend, who apparently is an ex-model.
Right.
And apparently that's a story in the Rancid. Do you know something? It was Rangers Football Club that gets sacked, no him.
Ah, sorry. This is your Buddhist vegan.
Oh no, that was Murdo Fraser. The wee racist bastard.
Yeah. But they're on about that
racist bastard.
They're on about that manager, aren't they?
Aye. Russell Martin, the Rangers manager.
Right.
They're all laughing at him getting the sack. Here's the fucking joke. He was on a £1.5 million a year, 3-year contract. How much do you think Rangers are going to have to cough up to get rid of him?
Oh, they'll need to cough up the rest of the money.
£4.5 million for 20 weeks work, David. No fucking bad if you can get it.
That's right.
Hey, I would be buying the Highland Loch, never mind going.
Yeah, he's probably in there swallowing that. Oh, this is nice. Wonder how much this costs.
Yeah, we're going to I think I'll buy me one of these with this 4.5 million compensation. Mental. So, the Rangers Football Club and their fans are all celebrating having given away 4.5 million quid for fuck all.
The ones that I know are all saying he had to go. Fair enough. Fine. I'm
Right?
not in the football. Sorry. It just leaves me cold.
It's no urgent, David.
I
Don't
used
give
to
me
be
politics.
into football no end until I found out what Rangers were really all about. And
That's it with
Rangers were
Celtic.
really, really all about the da 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 da
Uh-huh.
da da. And
David,
that's it. Yeah.
if I wanted to be a football commentator, I'd be a football commentator. We commentating politics. That's our game.
Yeah.
No football. Chris, now stop stirring the honey pot, dear boy. We don't need that. Right.
What's
Next,
it?
next up, we'll get the other right wing Honey Rag.
A
Enough for this nonsense.
four-leaf clover that I've never.
Enough for this nonsense. Get back to the fucking job at hand. I've got things to do today. Want to get through these.
Oh, bad enough. Bad
Hey,
enough.
man, you know, trust me to put UK economies back on track. UK economy back on track. So we've got the Tories wrecked the UK economy. They've been driving us over the Brexit cliff. With Kimmy Badenoch's mate and the lettuce further crashed the economy, and they expect us to trust them to put it back on the right track. What do you reckon, David?
Yeah, I heard Kimmy Banner getting interviewed a few days ago, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I ended up I just watched it all because it was just getting me angry for no reason whatsoever. She's not going to gain power. Simple as that. So therefore, she is a spent force.
So the Tory parties have spent force.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is a spent force.
I mean, Maximilian Robespierre had a good description of what's actually happening down that road. The Conservatives were that successful, and the right wing and press were that successful in pushing the Conservatives. When the Conservatives got so cocky that they made a huge mistake and blew the fucking whole lot, 100 odd years of success, the right wing rags needed another vessel to peddle their pish with. And so, therefore, fringe character Farage was dragged to the floor.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
The only reason why reform is getting the traction it's getting is because the loony right wing press barons bust the Tory party for pushing too far. So now they need another vessel, and that vessel is Nigel Farage.
Well, the best idea is let's get rid of the newspapers, because the newspapers are written at the behest of these large Tory barons. Yes?
Oh, aye.
As far as that's concerned, it's like we should not be subjected to such lies.
Well, the press, David, as you and I know, when we were younger, used to hold truth to power and tell us actually what was going on. Now they set a narrative.
No, that all changed with the News of the World and papers like that, right?
I'm saying they do. Like you said, even today, newspapers are no reporting on. They're setting a narrative with their tone.
Yes, the newspapers found that they could actually alter people's opinions.
Yep. So rather than actually objectively report on what's happening,
yes,
they're pushing the agenda.
A particular narrative, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Right, let's go on to the last one till I got on with my day. The Star has. This one's quite interesting, actually. You're never going to have a clue what this is about, but I'll tell you in a minute. It says never-ending Tory. Kimmy loves stand out recruit.
Never-ending Tory, yeah.
No, it's quite specific to that particular person in the picture.
Is it Robert Jenrick?
No, it's a new member of the Conservative Party who is 22-year-old and 7.2 feet high.
Oh, right, okay. So he's a big guy.
Young fella called Mr. McAlpine.
I didn't make that out. I thought he was just closer to the camera.
No, he's actually 7 foot too high. And his interest in politics is Starmer's wrecking of the farming community. The farming, basically the inheritance tax on farmland.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Starmer you know, and his Chancellor Rachel's for accounts, they are taking whatever easy target they can try and hit. So the farmers, the pensioners, the poor, you know, rather than doing the right thing and taxing the fucking rich.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's actually specific to this young fella. He's a young farmer, 22-year-old, called McAlpine. And he's 7 foot too tall.
Wow.
Well, never ending Tory. You crane your neck trying to talk to him. Especially me. He's 2 foot fucking taller than I am.
What's your mommy been feeding you, son?
What's that, mate?
What's your mommy been feeding you, son?
Aye. He's in his snout in the trough, David. A farmer with his snout in the trough. Anyway, that's it for this morning, folks. I'd like to say we hope you found it interesting and informative, but actually, there was nothing in the fucking papers today.
Well, you get days like that, but in actual fact, I've got to say, when you end up with nonsense like that, it does tend to be that are covering stuff up.
Aye.
You know, and really, that's that kind of story.
This morning they're trying to give the Tories, and this week actually they'll be trying to give the Tories an easy ride after a disastrous conference.
I used to go into the co-op, the local co-op, for milk or whatever, right? And I'd normally see some old guy pouring through the papers, looking at the papers, and I used to constantly, my line was, the Beano's and the finger in the corner, if that's what you're looking for. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck are you reading a newspaper for?
And wee bird says, "No news is good news." No, if you're fucking reporting on the newspapers, there's no wee bird. Right, David, say goodbye.
And goodbye.
Right, folks, that's it for the day. As I say, not as we've just discussed, there's nothing of any substance in the newspapers today. Let's hope it's a wee bit better tomorrow morning, where we'll see you then, 10:30. Don't be late.